What's good, people? What's up? What's up? Me, Teddy27. I'm here again, Angry Teacher Chronicles, all that good stuff. This is my review for Pose Season 2, Episode 5. And let's get going. So, we start off this episode, ladies and gentlemen, with they're doing like a news story on the Vogue, the voguing phenomena, or the fad, I guess you would say. And if you remember, if you were alive around then to remember what was going on, or old enough to remember what was going on during that time, it really was like that. Like, people really were like voguing all over the place and all kind of other stuff. I really wasn't big into vogue, but I do remember watching the videos, and sometimes I would like do it, like sometimes in the mirror and stuff like that, but it really was like that. So then you see Damon, he's teaching classes at the Y. And the fat chick, she was fat. I know that sounds like fat shaming, but she was fat, okay? But he calls her to the front of the class so she could demonstrate it. She's all happy and besides herself, because anytime a white person can get um, anything that resembles some kind of rhythm, they're happy about it. Child, she looked a mess. But anyway, but at the end of class, once everybody left and so forth and so on, this lady comes up to Damon and says, "Hey, I have an opportunity for you. I'd like for you to audition for Madonna's tour." It was Madonna's was it Blonde Ambition tour. It was a big tour back then, I remember. Um, and so he's all excited. So then we go to Blanca's house, but then we have this what do you call it? I'm not sure what the technical term for it is in the world of cinematography, but you would have this one scene simultaneously going on in two locations. Can't remember, because so you were in Blanca's house and you were in Electra's house, and you saw two very different ways of parenting, I guess you would say. And I say this all the time, and y'all think I be lying. Listen, I am much more Electra than I am Blanca. Blanca's all nurturing and motherly and nice. That ain't me. I'm much more Electra. Listen, ask my students in my classroom. I am not a nurturing teacher. I am a fire and brimstone type teacher. It is death and damnation, okay? In my class, I have my own gay kids, and they will tell you, I ain't, oh, come here, let me hold you. No, I'm a bitch, get your ass up type, gay parent. Anyway, so I tell you, I'm much more Electra. Um, but you see that Ricky and Damon are telling your story of, getting selected for this audition. Both of them got picked to audition. Both of them got this, opportunity to skip the line and be at the front of the line or whatnot. You can tell Damon misses Ricky. And so he's around Blanca's house, and Blanca says, hey, I see you miss him, so forth and so on. And he was saying that he didn't understand why Ricky was ignoring him now, so forth and so on. But in my mind, I was like, but you broke up with him. And in the immediacy of you breaking up with him, and then right there at that moment, he was kind of distraught, breaking down, and you were kind of cold and callous to him, Damon. And so now you expect him to be all sad about it when you didn't seem sad about it when you broke it off with him. I mean, I don't understand that, but I mean, you broke up with him, I guess. Whatever. So then Blanca says, Blanca tells Damon that he needs to tell Helena, who's his dance professor down at the school where he got the scholarship, and get her, you know, blessing, or not really permission, but get her blessing, because he only has one semester of school left. So he goes to class. You see him dancing, and he's her prize student, and he demonstrates in front of the class, so forth and so on. And I like the setup here. I like that the way they kind of set it up, you were anticipating them picking Damon. Like Damon, you know, being featured in the class and being featured in the news story. And he really wasn't featured in the news story, but his class was featured. So everything was kind of setting itself up for him to be picked. So then he talks to Helena, and she said, listen, I give you my blessing. I remember I was your age. My professor didn't want me to go off and dance. And she was more into the classical dancing in the company of a bunch of white people. But, you know, she encourages him and tells him that the world needs to see him. And that's, you know, that's good. After that, you have this, you know, this duo scene again where you're at Electra's house and Blanca's house, and both of them are preparing. Both houses, House of Evangelista and House of Wintour, are preparing, you know, their house member for the audition. So Elektra does what she does. She throws the money at it and says, listen, make him look good. I need a makeover. And so Blanca is the same way, but they got to basically scrape money up together. So both of them are, you know, getting a makeover and getting clothes and practicing, and, you know, Damon's working out and so forth and so on, and they're all getting it together. And then we're at the audition, and they both audition, and basically you kind of see that it's Ricky, Damon, and this other tall, dark-skinned guy. I really thought Ricky was much better than Damon in the audition. Ricky stuck out to me in the auditions, if you ask me. So Damon and Ricky both get a call back for the, I guess, the second audition or whatever. You then see Ricky at the house of the guy, I think he's Hispanic or whatnot, but the guy who he cheated on Damon with, they're dating now. But apparently the guy, you know, Ricky misses Damon, and him and the guy have words, and they kind of break up at that point. Then we're at Electra's house. Elektra has conjured up this whole plan and scheme to injure Damon. And I'm sorry, y'all, but every time I say Elektra's name, my Alexa goes on and tries to, you know, see what I want her to do. I'm just glad she hasn't talked during my video. Thank you, Alexa. Anyway, see, you heard it. Anyway, they've conjured up this scheme. This whore has gotten hold of Candy's hammer, and she has this WWCD, what would Candy do, thing that she said, and she's gotten Candy's hammer, and she's planning on having them concoct this scheme to injure Damon at the ball and make it seem like an accident. So when they get there to the ball, I think it was Papi. I think Papi told Blanca and Angel to come with him backstage. And so one of Elektra's kids tells them about the plot, tells Blanca in the house about the plot to injure Damon. Blanca then go out there and raise all holy hell to Elektra and gets Elektra to stand down. She's like, listen, this is going to help both of them, yada, yada, yada. You know, Blanca and all her touchy-feely stuff. Elektra looking at her like Elektra always looked. And, you know, it was what it was. Elektra backs down, and that is what it is. Then you got this scene between Angel and Papi. So Angel is, here's what I feel. I feel like Angel is stringing Papi along. Angel knows at this point, I think, that she's not going to get with Papi. But rather than just be very blunt and upfront with Papi and say, listen, Papi, it's not going to happen, she's kind of stringing him along. And I hate that she is, because Papi's a little cutie. And, nobody likes to be strung along. It makes me think of a song. There's a song by, if you don't know this girl, her name is Kimberly Locke. Kimberly Locke was a contestant in season 2 of American Idol. This season with Clay Aiken and Ruben Studdard. I think she made it to the top 3 with them. Kimberly Locke's first album, it has a song on it called I Could. Great song. I love this song. It's track 4. But the song is all about, it's called I Could because she's basically telling someone, I could pretend to love you, I could act like I like you, but I really don't. And the chorus says, do you really want to give your life to thinking you found true love when it hasn't found you? And basically it's all about someone telling someone else, listen, I could really, if you want me to, I could pretend and I could act like I like you, but it wouldn't be true. I wouldn't be being true to myself, and I wouldn't be being honest with you. And that's how I feel about Angel at this point. I feel like she's stringing Papi along. Papi really likes her. And I'm not saying she doesn't like him, but at this point, she's not in love with him like that. And she's more interested in pursuing her career than pursuing him. So I think that she really needs to just... And sometimes with people like Papi, you got to be brutally honest to the point where it may hurt their feelings. But sometimes you just got to do that. That's the only way to attack the issue. Moving on. After the ball, Damon and Ricky vogue in the category that one of the I think it was Butch Queen, Femme Vogue, something like that. Make me remember. I don't know. Ricky clearly should have won. I don't know how Pray Tell alluded to that Ricky probably didn't win because of some of the judges' disdain for Elektra, but Damon wins. Ricky should have won. After the ball, Damon goes up to Ricky and they have words. Ricky's really drunk. Ricky tries to flirt with this one guy and the guy kind of brushes him off saying, did you just break up with Damon or whatever? And so then Damon comes up to Ricky and, acknowledges Ricky being drunk. And he tries to offer Ricky the trophy because he knows Ricky was better than him. And they have this brief, quick little dance. And then Damon kind of pushes him off and is like, nah, we're not going to do this. Which doesn't make sense to me because you were just talking about, okay, why isn't he more distraught over it? It kind of comes off to me like Damon is one of those people who want you to be all in your feelings, and then when you show your feelings, then they want to act like they don't acknowledge your feelings. They just want it to be able to see or witness you really wanting them. They don't want to feel like you really didn't love them like that, or you really don't want them. So they want to see your struggle, I guess. We're back at the audition, the callbacks. And this is after it's over. Neither one of them got it. The other guy that I talked about earlier, the tall, dark-skinned guy, he got the spot on the tour. But the lady comes out and offers them an audition to Solid Gold, a Solid Gold remake. And if you know anything about Solid Gold was from the 80s. And it was like early to mid-80s. It wasn't even late in the 80s. I remember Solid Gold. But there's this reboot of Solid Gold. Of course, when they go to the audition, they get it, but Damon says, listen, we're a package deal. You got to take me and Ricky. And the guy said, that's why you're here. I want both of you. So you see them. They're taping the the pilot for this show. And the dancing is good. You know, they turning it now. Some real good dancing. I love, and while I was trying to pay attention to the dancing, I really was loving the music because it made me wax nostalgic. It took me back to my childhood. The song that stuck out the most to me was "Someday Somebody's Gonna Make You Wanna Turn Around and Say Goodbye." Until then, baby, I ain't gonna make you cry. Don't you know, things will change, things will go your way, and you hold on for one more day. Listen, y'all. Hold On by Wilson Phillips. That was my jam. Judge your mama, don't judge me. I done had a little too much to drink already. I can't even remember all the lyrics, y'all. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord. Anyway, love the music. So, it made me laugh when Ricky says after they're done with the pilot, "Oh, I feel like this reboot is going to be huge." And if you know history, the reboot was not huge. It did not take off. I don't even remember seeing the reboot. Maybe it did have an episode or two, but I don't even remember it. And that's how big it was, okay? I don't remember it at all. And I was old enough to remember it. So Ricky then shoots his shot. You know what I'm saying? He tries to go after Damon. And it's like I said earlier, Damon was just looking for validation for just to know that Ricky did really care for him. And Ricky is missing him. And Ricky is hurt by him. And maybe I'm looking at this wrong, but I feel like he took, in the episode, he kept, whenever Ricky would show vulnerability, he took every moment he could to pour a little salt in the wound, I kind of felt like, and to kind of brush him off and to make him feel worse. That's kind of how I saw it. But Damon's having no parts of it. Ricky was like, "Listen, you know, I broke up with the guy. We can be together, so forth and so on." I think he told him he broke up with the guy after the ball. But anyway, he shoots his shot. Ricky shoots his shot at Damon. Damon is not here for it. Damon's like, friends. That's what we can be, friends. And Ricky tries to laugh it off, so forth and so on, and act like he's cool with it, but he's really not. I think Damon is putting on as well. Damon wants to be with him, but I don't know, or it may just be that Damon really is looking forward to just seeing him suffer, and he likes that feeling of watching him suffer. And that was the whole episode. And I know a lot of people may complain about this episode. I like Ricky, and I like the Ricky and Damon story, so I really like this episode. But people are gonna, I could see people in their reviews talking about trying to weigh or compare this episode to last week's episode, which was obviously a huge episode. But I really like this episode. I love the Ricky and Damon story because Ricky and Damon, out of all of the characters, are characters who I can more so identify with. Not the femme queens, not the overly masculine, but just, I can more so identify with Ricky and Damon in the series. And so I really love their story. And I think it speaks to a lot of gay guys. So I really like their story. And that's all I got. That was this week's episode. I hope y'all like my review. It looks like y'all like last week's review because I got a lot of good comments on last week's reviews. Leave your comments below. Let me know how you feel, and we'll be back here next week. Same bat time, same bat station. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.